Hello, friends. Welcome to Betcraft, your home of football predictions and analysis. You get short predictions in this channel every day. Every day, we keep giving you, quality bets and valid bets in this channel. Okay, you're doing so well. And today, again, we'll have a lot of games going on across the globe, and we took time to look at these games and make our analysis based on their previous encounters, and their recent matches. So we have a lot of good games coming up today that we can say that is 95% guaranteed success. All right. Okay. That being said, if you are coming across the video for the first time, okay, try to subscribe so that you do not miss out on our subsequent, predictions. Okay. All right. Let's get to the business of the day. Today we're starting with the Belgium League, where we have Michelin coming up against Westerlo in the Belgium League. We see that as usual, we look at the past 20 for both sides and also the recent 5 for both sides. So in the past 20 for the home team, we see that home have been able to win 10 and have had 5 draws and also 5 losses, while the away side have seen 6 wins in 20 and also 6 draws and 8 losses in the past 20 games they've had. And looking at the recent encounters, you see that Michelin, which is the home side, have recorded 4 wins in the past 5 games and drawing the last one, which was drawing the other one, which was against Genk. Okay, so they are a team in a very fine form, and the away side also have seen just 1 win in the past 5. They have had 3 losses and 1 draw in the last 5 games they've played. So bringing all of that together, we know that the home side is much more fancied to take the sport in this very encounter. It is home win. That's our verdict for that very game. Okay, going to the next game that we have, it is in French League One, where we have Nice coming up against Montpellier in French League One. We'll look at how they fared in the past 20. See that in the past 20, Nice have been able to group 10 wins. They've had 4 draws and they've also had 6 losses, while their away side have seen 5 wins, 6 draws, and 9 losses in the past 20 games they've had. Okay, looking at the recent past for both sides, we'll see that Nice have been able to manage home 1 win out of 5, and they've had 3 losses and 1 draw. And their away side also have seen 1 win, 3 losses, and 1 draw in the past 5 games they've had so far. But looking at the recent 20 games that both teams have played, we see that Nice is a better side, much more fancy to take the sports in this very encounter, and we made our verdict based on that, and we believe that the home side FC Nice is going to come up with 3 points in this very encounter. So Nice win. That's our verdict for that very game. And the next game that we have for you is in Germany, where we have a German Bundesliga, Stuttgart coming up against Union Berlin. Okay, we know that Stuttgart is a very strong side in the league this season, and we saw that they've been winning their recent matches and they've been doing so. We're scoring a lot of goals, and they are currently ranked 3rd in the German Bundesliga, while Union Berlin is ranked 14th in the German Bundesliga. You see, okay, we look at the past 20 for both sides. We see that Stuttgart have been able to win 13 out of the past 20. They've had 2 draws and 5 losses, while their away side have seen 6 wins, 6 draws, and 8 losses in the past 20 games they've had. And looking at the recent encounters, you see that Stuttgart, which is the home side, have seen 3 wins out of 5. They've had 1 loss, which was against league leaders Bayern Leverkusen, and they also had 1 draw, which was against Cologne. So, okay, their away side have seen just 2 wins in the past 5, and they've had 2 draws and 1 loss in the past 5 games. So we see that combining these 2 analysis, we see that the home side is much more fancy to take the sport in this very encounter. It is Stuttgart who we expect to win in this very game. Home side win. That's our verdict in this very encounter. And going to the next game that we have, it is in the Italian Serie A, where we have Napoli coming up against Torino. Okay, as usual, we'll take a look at the past 20 for both sides. We see that Napoli have been able to see 7 wins, 5 draws, and 8 losses in the past 20. And Torino, on the other hand, have seen 7 wins, 7 draws, and 6 losses in the past 20 games that they've had so far. But we look at the recent performance for both sides. We see that in the recent performance, the past 5 games, Napoli have seen 2 wins, 3 draws. They've not lost any game in the past 5 games. And away side Torino have seen 1 win, 2 losses, and 2 draws in the past 5 games they've had. And we can as well note that Napoli's strong players, good players have returned, and we'll see them resurgent Napoli, coming up against Juventus in the last time, defeating Juventus, and also having a very, very strong win against Sassuolo, 6 goals to 1. And you see that Napoli is also, having a very, very good momentum at the moment. Okay, they wouldn't want to stop that, and based on that, we expect Napoli to take up the spoils in this very encounter. Napoli to defeat Torino outrightly in this very game. Home win, that's our verdict. Okay, next game that we have for you is in Portugal, where we have Portimonense coming up against FC Porto. And we'll also look at how they fared in the past 20. As usual, we'll see that the Portimonense, which is the home side, have managed 6 wins, 3 draws, and 11 losses in the past 20 games. And their away side, FC Porto, have seen 13 wins, 3 draws, and 4 losses in the past 20 games they've had. Looking at the recent past, for both sides, we know that the home side have not been able to win any match in the past 5 games they've had. They've also had 3 losses and 2 draws in the past 5 games they've had. And the away side, FC Porto, have won 4 times out of 5 in the past 5 games they've played, and they have just 1 draw, which was against Gil Vicente in the past 5 games they've had. And putting all of that together, we know that the away side, FC Porto, is much more fancied to take the spoils in this very encounter. We believe that the away side will win. The verdict is FC Porto to win outrightly on this very occasion. And going to the next game that we have, it is in Saudi Arabia League. We have Al Ittihad Jeddah coming up against Al Daoud. Okay, we know that the home side is a team that is having a lot of quality. We saw the likes of N'Golo Kante in that very team, and also Karim Benzema in that very team. Okay, and we look at how they fared in the past 20. We'll see that the home side have managed 10 wins, 2 draws, and 8 losses in the past 20 games they've had. And the away side have seen 7 wins, 1 draw, and 12 losses in the past 20 games they've had. Looking at the recent encounter, you can as well see that the home side have seen 3 wins and 2 losses. Okay, while the away side have managed just 1 win, 3 losses, and 1 draw in the past 5 games they've had. And the verdict in this very encounter is Al Ittihad, the home side, to take the spoils to win outrightly this very game. Okay, and the next game that we have for you is in Spain, where FC Barcelona is coming up against Mallorca in the Spanish La Liga. And we'll look at how they fared in the past 20. As usual, we'll see that Barcelona have seen 10 wins, 4 draws, and 6 losses in the past 20 games they've had. And the away side, Mallorca, have seen 8 wins, 8 draws, and 4 losses in the past 20 games they've had. And looking at the recent encounter, you see that in the past 5 for both sides, Barcelona have managed 2 wins and 3 draws. Okay, and Mallorca have managed 2 wins, 1 loss, and 2 draws in the past 5 games they've had. And we also know that Barcelona is a stronger side, especially when they are playing at home. When they're playing at Camp Nou, we expect Barcelona to pick up the spoils in this very encounter. And the verdict is Barcelona to win, home side to take the spoils outrightly. Okay, going to the next game, we have in Turkey, where Galatasaray will be coming up against Sport in the Turkish league. And as usual, we'll take a look at the 20 games they've played. In the past 20, we'll see that Galatasaray have managed 15 wins, 2 draws, and 3 losses, while their away side have seen 8 wins, 4 draws, and 8 losses. And looking at the recent past for both sides, we'll see that the recent past, Galatasaray have seen 3 wins and 2 losses in the recent games they have played, and those losses coming against Sparta Praha in Europa League, and also Fatih Karagümrük. And the away side have seen just 1 win and 3 losses and 1 draw in the past 5 games they've had. And we know in this very encounter, it is easy, to predict who wins. It is the home side who's going to take the spoils in this very encounter. Also seeing that they have the likes of Fenerbahce and Besiktas, at the back, waiting for them to slip up. Galatasaray will not. So in this very encounter, we expect Galatasaray to win outrightly in this very encounter. Okay, going to the last game of the day. It's also in Turkey, but in the Turkish second leg, we have Boluspor coming up against Giresunspor in that very league. We'll see that in the past 20, the home side have been able to win 12 times. They have also had 3 draws and 5 losses in the past 20 games they've played. And the away side, on the other hand, have been able to win just 1 game in the past 20 games. and they have had 4 draws and 15 losses in the past 20 games they've had. Okay, looking at the recent past for both sides, we'll see that in the recent past, the home side have been able to win 3 times out of 5. They have lost just 1, and they've had 1 draw in the past 5 games they've had. And their away side, okay, have been able to manage just 1 draw in the past 5 games, and they have lost 4 out of 5 in the past 5 games they have played so far. And we made our verdict based on all of this data that the home side is going to take the spoils in this very encounter. It is home win in this very encounter, and that brings our predictions and our tips to an end for today. Okay, and I hope to see you win. And remember, play responsibly. Do not put everything in betting. Bet with what you can afford to lose. Okay, it is a football game. Anything can happen. All right, so do not put your entire fortune in one game. Just bet responsibly and do not bet too much. Put a maximum of 5 in your ticket, and in that way you're guaranteed success in this. Okay, I hope to see you again tomorrow for analysis. Tomorrow is Saturday. It's a big day, and we're going to have a lot of games coming up for you on Saturday. So hope to see you again tomorrow. Till then, keep winning, keep playing on BetCraft.